Now, a government that is going, you have been there for 8 years. Listen to this. 2 weeks ago, the president went to the Senate, to the National Assembly, and said, I want to borrow $800 million. Who has calculator there? 800 million times 760. Can somebody do that? 800 million. 800. They put 60 times 760. That is what the Buhari administration told the Senate 2 weeks ago. They want. Oh, Senate said, Mr. Yes, Senate. Mr. Yes, sir. Senate said, oh, approved. To do what with that money? In the twilight of your going. They say payment of judgment debts. Who are the judgment creditors? These are parting gifts for the boys. Nobody is deceived. If everybody is, I am not.
The most amusing and amazing wonder of 2023 would be that while privileged Nigerians, privileged in the terms of skill set, capacity, certification, privileged in terms of awareness and information, privileged in terms of environment and society, are worried. Privileged Nigerians are worried, genuinely worried about the state of this country, about the leadership that it has had and leadership that it's about to begin. Worried with the kind of statistics that is before us that's staggering. Worried with the kind of mindset that these guys have. Worried by the kind of business that this government has been doing and the next government may likely do. People on the streets who are gullible, vulnerable, and only holding on to sentimental ropes are dancing and laughing. When people that have got money, that have got influence, that have got societal opportunities, that can travel and fly away from this country in a blink of an eye, they are worried. People that have got certification, people that have got skill sets, they are worried. People who are on the street, who are vulnerable to any small policy, the smallest of them all, the smallest, the most miniature, they are the ones saying, we have won. That's Chief Dr. Ozekhome, a legal luminary, a real SAN, a real senior advocate of Nigeria. He is worried, analyzing a long video of over 20 minutes, over 30 minutes even, expressing the worriness in our judiciary, worriness in our legislature, worriness in our executive rascality, worried that Muhammadu Buhari has eaten this country dry, did not in one way contribute to the growth of this country, but is about to step aside now, and stepping aside with the most worrisome take-home package that worry anybody. For a country that is sick and in coma, a father who is dying is requesting that they should add all his. You are owing debt as a father, so to speak. You are going to leave debt for your children, but you are saying the little ones you have, they should bury it in the coffin with you. That's the similitude of what we are. A man is leaving office and is requesting that more loans, ways and means, $800 million, and nobody's worried. The incoming administration is not worried because that's why. That is the plan. Because a new government will query all this as it gets to office is to return it. But they have arranged a mastermind to ensuring that they take over from themselves. The other one comes and continues from there. And then you say that, no wahala. And we are going to be here seeing how you are going to be immune by all this nonsense that will happen. It's obvious. The person have called me personally and said, what if he works? Works how? How will Tinubu work? With all this debt he's owing, he's personally owing debt. What he has done with this election is obvious that this man would have collected money from all sorts just to get in here. And then he's now going to sit in the managerial seat of the country that is also indebted to several places. Debt means debt. You're handing over a sick country to a sick team. We will be here. If they sweet to Nana Abi, if they pain us. Very soon, the table will turn. It will turn around. We'll be here. We'll be here. People that have skills, people that have opportunities, people that are even fortunate than you, people who live abroad, in the US, in Canada, in Japan, in South Africa. People have got at least 10, 15 million naira that can at least move them and their families, immediate families, away from the shores of this country. They are worried. They are bothered. But you, because your brother who speaks Yoruba with you wants to become president, you say I should go to hell. No wahala. I will leave you. Listen to Chief Dr. Mike Ozekhome expressing his worries, his fears, his anxieties, and every genuine Nigerian will be worried. Keep sending text message. I've received 2 already. PTC are begging us. Nabizu, you are begged. No wahala. I beg. I hope that we are also sending you tests to say please, for the few days, weeks, months, whatever judiciary decides to do, please use your sense. There's not enough to beg us. I hope, because that's how we bullied and bundled Goodluck Ebele Jonathan out of this country and said we have seen a Messiah. Brought him Muhammadu Buhari. Now he's leaving office. And we are saying, wow, what a wasted 8 years. I wish we had the time, the capacity, the influence, the powers to remove these 8 years from the annals of history of this country. But like I said, when this man comes, we apologize to Buhari. Watch Ozekhome. Watch him. At least someone not in our camp, who is just a Nigerian that has eyes and has ears. And he can also smell with his nose. And he's smart to talk. We will they talk when I see me, they arrest us. DSS should pick us. We go many. We should enlarge the prison so because we go many. As long as this country is concerned, it is our only country. Nobody has a right to tell us to shut up. We'll keep talking. We'll keep treating the issues. And sometimes we'll keep quiet. So I made the sledgehammer each 1 or 2 of you. Share this video as you watch it. I want to hear your opinion. What is your worry? What is your expectation? What is your fear? What are these things that Ozekhome has said now that you're also bothered about? Share it in the comment section and share this video. May God help Nigeria.
Do we have government of the people in Nigeria today? What we have? Electionocracy. Electionocracy is a system where every 4-year interval we go through a ritual to elect or select our leaders. They use 2 years to go around thanking the people and doing 1 or 2 road projects which will be washed away after the first rain. They use the 3rd year campaigning silently, and by the 4th year it is full-blown election. So we don't really have democracy dividends. We don't have people to impact on the common people. We only have people who come and give some rice, some mudus of rice and wrappers to people, or 5,000 naira to 10,000 to vote for them or select them or elect them. And then after that, they forget the people. Do you see them again when they are elected? They are in dark, blackened vehicles. And they won't even open the door to wave at you to say, well done. So that is electionocracy. From my Ozekhpedia, the next one is legislatocracy. Legislatocracy is a crazy which is not democracy, by which the legislators, instead of looking at section 4 of the Constitution to make laws for the peace, order, and good government of Nigeria, they make laws for their pockets. They do not consider the people. The present Senate, since Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Dr. Nwafọ Orizu, Dr. Joseph Waya, has been the worst of all the senates in Nigeria's history, with the 8th Senate arguably being the best, because they could challenge executive lawlessness and impunity. This Senate is a Senate of Agama Lizard. Agama Lizard is simply saying yes, yes, yes. It will never say no. Yes, Mr. President. Any budget, any request? Yes, sir, Mr. President. So I call them Mr. Yes, Yes Senate. I've also called them Mr. Take a Bow Senate. A person has come before the Senate to be examined and scrutinized for a critical national assignment. And you look at the person, I say, oh, Professor Mike Ozekhome, I say, we know you. We know you will do the job very well. Take a bow. So everybody goes there to take a bow. What makes you think I can do the job? Have you interrogated me? Have you asked about my bona fides? Whether I'm a square peg in a square hole? Have you found out? That is not the kind of Senate that we are looking for. By the way, what is the problem? What is the business of senators and House of Rep members doing constituency projects? What is their business? Their job is to make laws for the peace, order, and good government of Nigeria. Is there Section 4 of the Constitution? There's nowhere they mention constituency. So it is the system that corrupts us, and power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So we cannot have a Senate, instead of getting concerned about oversight functions under sections 88 and 89 of the Constitution, to hold the executive and even the judiciary accountable. You have senators, when ministers come and members of the DMAs, they ask them, what do you have for us? So if their budget, for example, is going to be 500 billion, they must build in that for the legislators. That budget of 5 billion will become about 700 to 800 billion. No country grows like that. No country. By the way, if you look at section 63 of the 1999 Constitution, the National Assembly is to sit for no less than 180 days. That means 6 months in a year. That is why you see many legislators engaging in business contrary to constitutional provisions that they should not, except farming. The reason is that they have much time in their hands. All you need to do is to schedule your time and make sure you have sat for 6 months in a year. Then in such a case, have recommended again and again, what do we need a full-blown National Assembly for? What do we need 109 senators for? What do we need 360 members of the House of Representatives for? All of them constituting a drain pipe on our national treasury. I do not see. Thank you. I do not see why it cannot be enough for 3 senators to represent a state, 1 for each senatorial district, to take care of the people something. If you want, scrap the Senate, let the House of Reps stay. Or you scrap the House of Reps and let the Senate stay. The alternative, there's an option. The option is let them sit on part-time basis and collect only honorarium, sitting allowance. If you have legislators taking sitting allowance, then you will find that it is those who are really ready to serve Nigeria. People like Senator Oyofo, for example, who was already a guru in the oil business. He left. He wanted to serve his people. He didn't go there to go and eat money, and no corruption case was ever filed against him. If you make it part-time, you will now see real patriots come out to serve Nigeria. You will no longer see everybody killing himself or herself to go to the center. By the way, we are not practicing federalism. We are practicing a unitary system of government where the entire 67 items on the exclusive legislative list are more in favor of the federal government against states and local governments. What is the business of federal government with marriage? Do you know that your marriage, your relationship between you and your wife is governed by an act of parliament, the Marriage Act? In other words, how you dissolve your marriage, how you marry, how you have children, it is the business of the federal government. A matter that should actually concern not even a state, but a local government. What is the business of the federal government? We've been a monopolist of electricity when I should be allowed to generate electricity in my house. Go to Abuad, Afe Babalola University, where I presented the 10th convocation lecture on the 20th of October last year. They generate their own electricity up to 5 megawatts. Wow, what is your business, federal government? With this, with railways, that you are the only one who can construct a railway. What happens to Edo State if the government decides to construct one from Ijukwe, my village, through Agenebode, up to Okbula? Why should you stop it? So, these problems are endemic and systemic. So, we have a National Assembly, and particularly a Senate, that has been corrupted by the system and by the executive, that has become afraid of its own shadow. This government is on its way going out. I'm just writing an article now. I will put it out today. I titled it, Our Leaders, the Ephemerality of Power. Go to James, 2 James. It's a power. It's like a bubble. You pinch it and it goes. It vanishes. Ecclesiastics. Nothing lasts forever. Even life itself. Shakespeare. Life is but a walking shadow. A poor player that frets and struts his hour upon the stage and is heard no more. It was a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Then the same president went to the Senate 3 weeks ago and said, we want to borrow. Yeah, thank you. Do you know how much that is? $800 million is 608 billion naira. 608 billion naira. With that amount, every state of the 36 states in Nigeria can have a first-class hospital fully equipped that will never allow any Nigerian to leave the shores for treatment abroad. Do you hear me? Are you hearing me? The same federal government 3 weeks ago went to the Senate and said, give us 22.7 trillion naira as ways and means loans. Ways and means 22.7 trillion naira. I thought another government is supposed to come in on the 29th of May. Is today not 26? Abi? Is it not on Monday? So, having borrowed money for our generations yet unborn, having sold our yesterday, having mortgaged our today, why are you against selling our tomorrow? Why are you borrowing? What do you mean by ways and means? 22.7 trillion naira. Wait for it. It's not yet ended. It's not yet ended. Again, few weeks ago, the federal government again got approval from the National Assembly to borrow 819.54 billion naira. They call it domestic loan to fix infrastructure. Domestic loan to fix infrastructure. Which infrastructure? When are you going to fix it? I thought you are going in the next few days. But if we had a strong National Assembly, particularly the red chambers, the Senate, in our bicameral legislature, they will say, no, sir, Mr. President, let the next government come and take a decision as to how they want to govern this country. But that is not what we are seeing.